Hi, I'm Mike Messier. Welcome to episode 14 of Short Film Showcase. We've got a great show this week, including a special interview with our guest, Chris Esper. But first, let's take a look at Sabine Modestin's 13 Witches. Now, this is a series we've shown some episodes of before. This is episode 5 and 6 of Sabine Modestin's 13 Witches. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Lilith. I didn't have the pleasure to meet you yesterday. Do you remember me?
Not yet. My memory is actually not completely restored. Has it been 3 centuries?
Don't worry. It only took me 3 years to remember everything. I'm happy you decided to join us. Daniel will take your coat. Let's go, Daniel.
Yes, mistress.
You just met my husband, Daniel. Or what used to be my husband. Now he's my slave. I have 10 like that. And they do whatever I want. They have no soul, so it doesn't matter.
What do you mean slaves? Why don't they have souls?
Oops. I think I said too much. Make yourself comfortable and I'll go get Nemesis.
Hi. My name's Diana.
He doesn't hear you. He can only recognize the voice of Lilith, his mistress. Go to my room. I'm coming later. And make sure you completely undressed this time.
Yes, mistress.
So, Diana, how do you like my house? I did pretty well in 3 centuries now.
Yes, it's nice. What's up with this slave and mistress thing?
Huh, I'm so rude sometimes. Do you remember Ennio?
It's a pleasure to welcome you back. Oh, we missed you.
You're part of us now. I need to complete your ritual.
What do you mean?
Nemesis, I left something in your room, a little bottle for you. This one was tough. Hey, you decided to come. You did the right thing.
Who are you?
I'm Pandora. You don't remember me, do you? It's okay. I'm the cool sister.
And the dumb one, too.
Hey, Andromeda. How did you know about Sheila and Stefan?
I just knew.
So, Diana, as I was saying, I need to complete your ritual.
What's gonna happen to me?
You will become stronger.
You're gonna kill me. You're gonna take my soul.
Yes and no. I will make you what you are.
Am I gonna have to kill?
Not kill. Just make somebody your slave to serve you. And to get revenge on those men that burnt us. And in the end, we will be the goddesses of this world.
And for what purpose?
First, to get revenge for what they did to us.
And then we'll rule this world. However we desire.
Not with violence, but with justice.
You call this justice?
You know, Diana, there's always a choice. Yesterday, I studied the incantation. If I don't finish it, you'll die.
And why didn't you tell me that?
So what, Diana? You'll die a miserable life. Anyways. All our lives were miserable before we met Nemesis. But she sacrificed herself so we can obtain revenge for those who burnt us. Oh, Diana. You remember how happy you were? I know you're not anymore. I mean, look at what happened yesterday. Your husband and your best friend. You gave them everything, and look at what they did to you.
My life used to be miserable too. Until Nemesis. She changed that for me. Just like she'll for you.
You will become part of something great. Yes, you will have to kill. But this is becoming a goddess.
You're already a goddess. Just be yourself.
Diana, just be yourself again.
It's easy for you. You don't know me. And you don't know my life's miserable.
Okay, princess, you want to know what a miserable life is? When I was 14, my parents nearly killed me. So I ran. When I was 15, I became a junkie. When I roamed the streets at night, all I wanted was to pay for an escape from the world. And then I met Nemesis. She picked me up from the street, and of course I thought she was just a client. That night, when Nemesis strangled me, it was like she was getting rid of all the pain and all the poison that I had for decades. But I opened my eyes again. I felt alive for the very first time. So don't you dare judge any one of us.
I'm sorry. How long do I have to make this decision?
I don't know. 1 hour or 2? Maybe you're already dying. Who knows?
Okay. I'm ready.
Perfect. Let's start the celebration. And now, I'll give you a gift. The gift to change form. You won't feel the pain after you drink this. My eyes and your eyes are now one. Our spirit is one. May the past and the present become one. May the present and the past life become one. Andromeda, you want to do it?
Absolutely.
You're part of us now. May the power of our God become yours. You were dead. Now you're alive. Reborn now.
Reborn now. Reborn now. Reborn now. Reborn now. Reborn now. Reborn now.
Diana, you have to learn this. Again. Diana, are you even trying?
I prefer hunting. When would I ever have to use this?
Mother said we have to share our knowledge. I teach you to fight, you teach me to hunt.
Yes, master.
Oh.
Hey, Sleeping Beauty. You slept for 3 days.
What? 3 days?
Tina, still mad at me.
Why?
It's always these Economy sisters. Your hair. Look amazing. Are you ready for something fun?
What fun? We have to take care of your husband.
And it's a bitch.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? You probably don't remember her, but I present you Venus.
Pleasure to see you again, Diana. I was hoping you will join us soon before anything that gets to you. Gets to me. Why?
She means nothing. Today, it's your day to get more power. So I was thinking, your husband, it's at your friend's house. Maybe we should pay him a visit and see what happens. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea. It's time for some real fun.
Take this bottle. If you want them to become your slave, make them drink it. Take it.
Thank you.
That was Sabine Modestin's 13 Witches, episode 5 and 6, right here on the Short Film Showcase. We want to thank Sabine, and we'll be seeing more of her episodes in the future right here on the Short Film Showcase. Right now, we have a real special guest here in the studio. His name is Chris Esper. He's a great filmmaker, and we're happy to have him right here on the Short Film Showcase. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you back. And as everyone knows, you were on the earlier episode, episode 2, I believe. So this is your return, the revenge of Chris Esper, so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak, yes.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great.
Excellent.
Let's talk about your projects, because you have a lot of stuff going on. So let's just start from the top. What's the first thing we can talk about with you and your films?
Well, first thing is I'm very, very pleased to announce that Still Life, my latest short film, just received worldwide distribution through twistflix.com. So it's going to be seen hopefully by the end of this month around the world through either digital download or live streaming, and I'm very, very excited about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
How did, without going into too many details, was that something you contacted them, they contacted you, or?
Yeah, I contacted them. I found out about it through Facebook, and I just simply submitted my film, and they said, we'll take a look at it, let you know what we think of it, and they saw it, contacted me that very night and said, this is really good, we'd like to distribute it. I'd never heard of short film distribution before, so it was something that I really wanted to jump on that opportunity. So I did more research about them, and it just seemed right. And some other local films are also there as well, some local features, including Jonah Lives, directed by Louis Chavarlo. Hope I'm saying his name right. Yeah. Jocelyn Badilla is in it, and a Boston film called The Final Shift, directed by John Depew. Those films were on the site, so when I saw that, I knew this is something I had to do. Not only do they do internet distribution, they also do DVD distribution for feature films as well. But I thought this is a good. I thought short film distribution, fairly expensive price. This is good. So I really wanted to do it, and luckily I was accepted. And
the thing that you mentioned that sticks out for me is that you said you did the research to make sure this is a reputable company.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in this entertainment industry, when we're working our way up, we're so excited to have an opportunity at all. We'll just jump on the first thing.
Yeah.
And without doing the research, and that's a good way to fall into a bad trap. But you didn't do that.
No. I made sure I read through the contract several times.
Yep.
Had people who know business much more than I do take a look at it as well. And the site is very young still. It's only a month old. So who knows even what kind of traffic it's going to generate 3 years from now or so. So in a way, I'm kind of taking a risk, but it's something that it felt right to take this risk. I mean, it's just one of those things where you know it's a risk, but in this business, that's the kind of thing you have to do. You have to take chances.
Right.
And it's the chance I was willing to take, because when I saw there were local films, and I was just impressed with the whole concept of distributing short films and being able to get it out there. It's a rare opportunity. And
yeah, short films are often used as a way to showcase a filmmaker in a film festival, or something like we do here, where we try to generate some excitement and energy for filmmakers. And traditionally, features are where the monetary gain will come. But you've found a way with this company to hopefully get a little profit going.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So let's talk about more projects for you, because you got a lot of stuff going on.
I do. Yes. The latest thing I'm working on now is a music video. It's sort of a long-form music video. It's called Beacons. The song is by Muse and Lestrada. She's originally from Providence, but now is out in New York, out in Albany, New York. But she came back to make this video. She had asked me to direct, and the story essentially revolves around 3 folks: a cop, a businessman, and an artist. And the song is about heroes and the people they least expect to be heroes. The future generation of folks who light the beacons for those of tomorrow, the future heroes of tomorrow. So essentially the video is sort of about that. These three people go through a rough time in their careers and their lives. And then the song is kind of used as a way to extend the story and have the singer be almost like a guardian angel to those 3 souls that she sings to and tells them, you light the beacons for us. I mean, that's part of the lyrics of the song. So it's a very positive message. It's almost inspiring.
Right.
And so we felt, I say we, me, being me and the musician, we both felt that we couldn't just do this as a promotional piece where you simply just have the song, have the singer. We had to tell a story.
Right.
And she felt the best way to do it was to make almost like a theatrical short, which I had no problem with because I love Michael Jackson's videos, as I said last time I was on here. And I'm very inspired by the work that John Landis and Martin Scorsese did on 2 of his videos, Thriller and Bad, and both were 14 to 20 minute long videos that featured dialogue, a story. There was an arc. You know, they had some character development, and then the song was in there as a way to extend it. And I thought that was very, very fascinating. So I wanted to try that again because I've done that once before with a previous video I did for college with Christina Moody and Christopher Allen. So I want to try again, but try some new things. For one thing, shoot in color.
Right.
And also make something a little shorter. Try like 5 to 7 minutes and see what we can make with that.
You mentioned shooting in color. What's, for you, when you're making a film, what's the aesthetic difference or the psychological, emotional difference in content with shooting in color versus black and white, Chris?
Well, I think that black and white, as soon as we hear a black and white, we automatically think of old, or we think of dramatic, something heavy. So I primarily use it if it's necessary. Like for my film Still Life, that was black and white because of the fact that the character sees things very black and white, and most first-time artists, they do see things very black and white. It's either you're good or you're just god-awful.
Right.
There's no middle ground, gray area. And so that's how I justify as to why I shot that black and white. Color, I think, can be used as a dramatic means of, you know, expressing. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that psychologically, we think of black and white. We think of film noir. We think of 1930s films. We think of something very heavy. But with color, depending on how you color it, I think of something that's dreamlike almost with color, especially if the colors are popping out at you. But you can also have a muted color palette where the colors are sort of pulled back and almost close to black and white, but not. It's very hard to answer that question actually, because I guess the best way I could explain it is I just go by. Well, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
just the differences between black and white and color, and I think you have answered it pretty well so far.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of differences.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like I can't really explain. I can't really explain why my differences personally, but I guess I could say it's just psychological. I mean, when we see color, we automatically think of just everyday events, perhaps.
Right.
And when we see black and white, we automatically think, okay, there's something different about this, especially a black and white film in this day and age in 2013.
Right.
Because if we're talking about It's a Wonderful Life or perhaps any other Frank Capra film from the 30s or 40s, we're thinking of, we expect black and white in that instance. So it's...
well, here's one for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
Well, the first half of it, yes.
Well, that's one of your favorites, isn't it?
It is. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie dearly.
And that is a great contrast of color and black and white.
It is, because, you have the black and white world. Things are very mundane, very dull. And then when she gets to the land of Oz, it's a total contrast as to what her life was like originally back in Kansas. And I think that's why I love that movie so much, because you have that difference, a chance to literally escape, because when you see the first half, it's like you're almost looking at your own life in a way, because it's very ordinary. Things are very normal, very balanced. And then when you get to this other world, it's just totally off the wall and different.
Right.
And then at the end, when she says, there's no place like home, it's, it kind of hits home with that message that, maybe sometimes that mundane life could be okay. It could be, you could make it, it can be better than what it is.
The
perhaps.
Munchkins and Flying Monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
Tin
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah.
What I got to ask you, Chris, if you don't know the whole answer, that's okay. But you mentioned that's in your top 10 favorite films.
Mm-hmm.
So what is Chris Esper's favorite 10 films? Do you have them memorized? Or?
Yeah, sort of. It changes all the time, but
Okay.
I guess my top 5 easily, I could say. I mean, there's Rocky, Raging Bull, 2 boxing movies. Who would have thought?
Sure.
So Rocky, Raging Bull, King Kong, the original, 1933. Wizard of Oz and The Godfather. Those are my top 5. The rest, they always change. Like, I love City Lights. I love Cinema Paradiso. It's an Italian film. The Magic Box, which is an old British film. It's wonderful. So it always changes, but those are primarily my top 5 favorites.
That's great. It's a good list. Very solid.
Thank you.
I noticed that Stopper My Mom Will Shoot didn't make the list. That's okay.
Which we talked about off camera.
We talked about that off camera. So we talked about Still Life getting some distribution and some, what other stuff you got going on? Because there's a whole lot of stuff going on with you.
Well, there's a new short in the works that Tom Palino had written originally. He sent me the script and I loved it.
Yep.
And then it was rewritten. It was rewritten by my good friend Rich Camp.
Okay.
And so now it's sort of in the planning process. It's a comedy about a guy who has all these good things come to him, but he feels cursed because when all these good things come to him, everyone else suffers, and they get the negative aspect of his, I guess, a reward, I guess you could say.
Right.
And so he feels like he needs to be punished for that, so he goes to a dominatrix and he gets punished for it. So it's,
wow.
I mean, there's much more to it than that, but it's really, really hysterical. It has a great heart to it. And when he first told me about the idea, I was like, oh boy, dominatrix, I don't know about this. But I read it. I read it though. It had such a heart to it. It was very sweet, very nice, and just funny. It was just really, really funny. And it wasn't pornographic anyway, so that's another thing I appreciated was that it didn't have to be pornographic to be funny.
Right.
It was just naturally funny. Just the idea of someone wanting to do that, and just the things that he goes through. And plus, when Rich Camp went back and rewrote the script, it was just it just made it so much better. It was incredible. So that's perhaps the next film, and I'm also trying to write my first feature film.
Any advance word on that, or you want to keep that under wraps for the time being?
Well, right now it's under wraps, but right now I'm just sort of outlining and discovering new things as I'm trying to write. Because I'm still very new at writing. I'm primarily a director.
Right.
But I do enjoy writing whenever I feel like I have to. If there's a certain idea I come up with, I feel like I have to write it. Like with Tom's script, it was called House of No originally. Of course, he had already written it, but when I read it, I was thinking, this is not something I would come up with. So I like the idea of doing something that's totally out of my comfort zone.
Right.
So I wanted to try directing something that wasn't my own material for once, because Still Life was my own. Everything else before that was my own writing. So I really wanted to try something that was different, something out of my comfort zone, and something that someone else wrote. And so in that sense, it will be quite challenging to try to live up to the vision of someone else's idea, but it'll be fun to get my own interpretation on it as well.
That whole process of writer, director, producer, actor, even cinematographer, editor, all those key elements, and those kind of, I guess it was 5 elements I just listed, but those 5, and hair and makeup and all types of positions and roles and responsibilities that go into a film, it's almost mind-blowing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, people have no idea how much it goes into making a movie sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the magic what-if of cinema in that regard. It's you go into a movie theater and you think it's just magic and it just happens, but very often people don't realize the hard work that's involved.
Absolutely.
And that's good, because when you make a movie, you don't want the audience to really see the hard work. You don't want to see the sweat on the brow of the actors or the crew.
Right.
You want them to buy into that this is either fantasy or reality, but it's not people making a movie, it is a movie.
Exactly.
Let's talk about, we have a few minutes left, but you had some education at New England Tech. That's a local college in Warwick, Rhode Island that's pretty advanced, I would say. I've been up to the campus, and it's really nice campus. What are your thoughts on having come through that system and education in general for film?
Well, my first impression, I was a bit disappointed when I first went because I really wanted a film education. So when I first went there and I started learning all this stuff, and even when I took a tour of the school, I was thinking, oh gosh, I hope this is like the right decision, because I thought you had to go to film school, you had to learn how to shoot on film, you had to be extremely skilled at lighting. I'm thinking, I don't know if this is the right school for me. But then I went, started taking the courses, and actually it was probably the best education I could have ever gotten.
Nice.
Because it was all the technical, but at the same time, the teachers encourage you to be creative. So, and the associates, they separate into two. You have the associates program, which was video and audio production. And it was very basic. You learn how to light, learn how to shoot, learn how to do some script writing. And when it came to the bachelor's, we started getting a little bit more freedom. We got to do a documentary, we got to do a music video, we got to do, we also got to do a short film, but that was in the associates actually. But I found that as I kept going through New England Tech, I found that this actually is probably the best education I could get. Because if I were to go to a film school or some art school in New York City like how I originally wanted to, I don't think I would have been the technician that I've become now, because they could teach you, because it seems like if you go to a film school and art school, they won't teach you how a camera works, how editing works. You know, it would just be more about the art side of filmmaking, which is nothing wrong with that at all. I love the artistic aspect of filmmaking, but I feel like that the creative aspect of film can't be taught. It could be honed.
Right.
But you can't really teach someone how to be creative, I feel. I think that's something that's sort of a natural talent, or you can certainly encourage someone to do more, maybe expand your story a little bit more, maybe develop these characters a little bit more, but I don't think you can necessarily teach someone how to be an artist, per se.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, we had a great interview here. We got to wrap things up.
Okay.
But you, my friend, are an artist, and you're always welcome back here on the Short Film Showcase.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks to Chris Esper for that wonderful interview here on the Short Film Showcase. Our next short film is a documentary called Rejected by Reality, The Strange Case of Mike Messier and Smudge Baby. Let's check out Rejected by Reality right now, right here on the Short Film Showcase.
And did you see that, that when we were sitting over here trying to think of what to do, that piece of ass that walked out, that blonde girl? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. God. She's a very pretty girl. I think I'm going to go back to school.
You wouldn't want someone in the World Wrestling Federation that actually can put asses in seats for the first time in a long time. Oh, Lord!
Say what we have here. We got us a jihad. Jihad.
Leaders stayed up all night. 6 a.m. we lost the fight. He sailed some mighty rough seas. Now he's easy to please.
In early 2002, I stumbled across an internet ad for a new reality program to be aired on Home Box Office, HBO. Candidate 2012 would follow one lucky American on a 10-year quest to earn the presidency through a grassroots campaign. The revolution, it seemed, would be televised on premium cable. After sending in a written application, I was contacted by the program's casting director, who asked me to send in a video chronicling my life and my stands on the issues. Surely, this would be my first step towards a life alongside James Gandolfini, Sarah Jessica Parker, Chris Rock, Dennis Miller, and that from Arliss. Sending this tape would jumpstart my career. The guy who said there is no shortcuts was wrong, and nobody remembers his name anyway. This would be my big break, and I would soon have a national forum to display my intellect, compassion, and maturity. Well, this is the big news. Without any further ado, I've been chosen to audition for an HBO show.
Hey, that's good.
Oh, thanks.
What show? What show?
Candidate 2012 in Los Angeles. They'll be flying me out on April 26th.
Oh yeah?
To compete, I suppose, with 13 other people to get an HBO series where someone's going to run for president.
How long are you going to be there?
They're keeping me there till May 1st, but I'm going to stay with my sister afterwards for a few more weeks and check out Los Angeles, check out the West Coast. Hopefully this show will come out.
Hey, good luck.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Come on.
All right. Hi, my name is Michael Clark Messier, also known as Mike Messier, and I'm here to discuss why I should be chosen as the candidate for HBO's documentary or piece, Candidate 2012. Well, let's start at the top. First of all, I think there's never been, to my knowledge, a candidate who is well, maybe I have a lot in common with previous candidates. Obviously, I'm a tall, Caucasian, blonde-haired male, but there are some things about me that are different. For instance, I have tattoos. Ooh, you probably have a lot of people with tattoos, but look at mine. They're interesting. This, as you see, I just got last week. It's a half wolf, half cat with a snake tongue. It's kind of the yin and yang, kind of represents myself. Fierce to some, a house cat to others, but always with a sharp tongue. Profound. Then we move on to the tattoo I've had for a long time. And this is a tattoo that says the word God, and it has a blue cross on it. Now, I often get people asking me, why would I do such a thing of get the word God and a cross tattooed on my arm? And I say, in case I forget my name. No, I'm just kidding, that's a joke. But I think a lot of politicians claim to have a belief in God, and then they sleep with a secretary or an intern, or they get involved in some type of thing. You know, so why else should I run for president? I think that this experiment it can best serve to provoke the country. And I would like people to see me on television and say, you know, if this guy's running for president, then I should run for president. Or maybe, you know, not run for president, maybe city council or mayor of a particular city. Now, coming from my background, I grew up in Fairfax, Virginia, Burke, Virginia, and we're very close to Washington, D.C., and I grew up watching Mayor Marion Barry, who, as you may or may not know, got busted on a crack possession with a prostitute and was put in jail. And then I moved to Providence, Rhode Island in 1995, and our mayor, Buddy Cianci, is currently under indictment for what they call plunderdome, and has also served in jail previous sentences for beating up his wife's boyfriend, and then he got out of jail, he got reelected. So I've grown up basically with probably the two worst mayors as role models in my life. Now, if that has stirred me, seeing corruption in government, to come to you, and apply for this position as candidate for President of the United States of America, imagine the flaws that people can see in my armor and say, hey, if this guy, Mike Messier, wants to be president, and let's take a look at him, and now we'll get introspective on me, and say he's arrogant, he's vulgar, he's out of shape, he's attractively large.
The whole manic depressive angle. I think a lot of people in this country do take medications, and I can be kind of a I can be like, hey, look, even if you take medications, even if you have problems, you can still be a winner. You can still be a winner in the game of life, and I think that's what I am.
Nice to meet you. I'm Lenny. How are you? Lenny Schwartz.
Okay. My friend Mike Messier here sent in a tape to HBO for a new documentary reality type show they're doing called Campaign 2012.
Campaign 2012.
What he's going to be doing is going to be going around the country kind of lobbying to run for president. But the whole actual backstory of it all is he's going to be trying to get people's opinions on what they want in another president in the country. Thousands of people sent the tapes in. He is one of 14 finalists.
Are you serious? So, congratulations.
So what we got to do is we got to send this tape in, get you to sign your name, the town you live in, your email address.
Okay, sure.
We got to get 100 of these, 100 names.
Glad to be number one.
Or as many as we can. And that's what we got to do. We got to send that in with the tape.
What's that name?
Everyone's excited because they have no hands. No one has a shoe shine to be slick and dance. Everyone's satisfied.
Alright, everybody. Now, you're probably wondering what the smudge baby got to do with Mikey Messier? What the smudge baby got to do with Campaign 2012? You see, motherfucker, this is how it works. Mike Messier is president. Well, who the hell do you think's gonna be the first lady? It's gonna be none other than Smudge Baby, that's right! Oh Lord! Now, before I let you go, I'm just gonna take off my little gloves and I'm just gonna cozy up in my little chair, say goodbye to Smudge Baby, Campaign 2000 HBO. You motherfuckers better be there! Woo! And I'm gone! Oh Lord! Upon returning to Rhode Island, I was saddened to learn that I would not be hired by Vince McMahon and the World Wrestling Entertainment as a creative writer. Angered, I sent in an audition tape for their new reality television program, Tough Enough 3, which airs on MTV. What is this? What is this? I'll tell you what it is. It's my rejection notice from the World Wrestling Federation. My letter of rejection saying, thank you, but no thank you, for my storyline that I wrote, trying to be a writer for the Wrestling Federation known as the WWF. But we're not here to talk about that right now. You see, just as one door has been closed, one door has been shut on me, I'm going to kick down another door for the World Wrestling Federation. You see, I guess you don't want a new puppet master. I guess everyone's happy with the puppet master of Vince McMahon. They're happy with the way things are, the status quo, the slight decline in the ratings, the circular and the secular motions of sports entertainment. I guess that's fine, isn't it? You wouldn't want to blow the roof off this thing. You wouldn't want to compete with the NFL, Major League Baseball, the National Basketball Association, HBO. You wouldn't want that to happen now, would you? You wouldn't want someone in the World Wrestling Federation that actually could put asses in seats for the first time in a long time. Not someone who needs a catchphrase, take the people's elbow, the people's rock, or the people's anything. You might want someone with a little originality, wouldn't you? You'd think you would want that, wouldn't you? Oh yeah, now you want me to do a little puppet show. Now you want me to lift a few weights. Well, you see, I'm not going to lift a few weights. I'm not going to do a few jumping jacks. I'm not going to do a few squat thrusts for anyone. You see, when you're looking into my eyes, you're looking into the eyes of someone who knows better. I speak to the gods. I walk in the footsteps of Brody, Andre, Adonis, and the Von Erichs, and I'm here to reclaim wrestling. I'm here to make wrestling what it should have been all along. And that's something beyond sports entertainment. We're wrestling entertainment. That's something beyond that. Oh, you want to tell old Danny Boy Flanahan that he's vanilla and he's boring. Is that right, Alvin? Alvin Snow? Mr. Centaur? Mr. Head? Well, you know something, Alvin? Let me tell you something, Mr. Snow. Let me ask you something. Do you think that you're that interesting? Do you think Bob Holly's that interesting? Chavo Guerrero Jr. is that interesting? I don't think they're that interesting. No offense, Mr. World Wrestling Entertainment Superstar, but I think Danny Boy, with his boringness, was a little more entertaining than you. Oh, you want to know if I'm a little erratic? A little psycho? Well, you see something? I think the sport needs someone who can say something a little psycho. I think the sport needs someone who can say something a little interesting, exciting, entertainment. Oh, okay. Now you want to know about me. The real me. You want to talk to me. You want to know me. You want to know me. Who am I? 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 My name is Michael Clark Messier. I wrestled as Smudge Baby. I wrestled as Mad Dog Mike Messier. But now I'm here. Now I'm here trying to make something of myself. I'm here trying to make something of myself. Oh, I don't want to break the policy, so here's 5 minutes of entertainment, of exercise, okay? Here's my finger. There's my finger. Okay? You wanna put me up like Perry Saturn? You wanna see tattoos? I'll show you tattoos. No. Let's save something, okay? Let's save something for when something's gonna happen. You want to take my storylines and send them back to me? You want to tell me that Stephanie McMahon is a better writer than me? No, Stephanie McMahon was born into this business. Vince McMahon was born into this business. Chavo, with his flying horse, was born into this business. I made myself into this business. I brought myself in, despite people telling me that there's, oh yeah, we don't need another guy like you. Oh yeah, the numbers are against you. But you know what? I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the numbers because the numbers mean nothing. The only numbers that matter are the people that are going to tune off NBC, HBO, ABC, and tune in to the National Network or the Nashville Network or MTV Tough Enough or whatever it is, whatever forum that it is. You see, I think it's time that you stopped holding back this thing you call wrestling, this thing you call sports entertainment. Stop holding it back and start showing the people in this country, their new hero. And that hero is me, Michael Clark Messier, and I'm not just tough enough, I'm psychotic enough!
Sensing a lack of interest in Mike Messier, I allowed my body to be overcome by the spirit of Smudge Baby in an attempt to get booked on the Jerry Springer Show.
Hit it!
I'm Smudge Baby, Bald Pony. I've been a big fan of yours for a long time. Matter of fact, I always thought if Balls Mahoney joined the Blue World Order, you could have been Blue Balls Mahoney.
Put that on, please. I am not talking to someone like that.
Smudge! I said Smudge! I said sweet mother Smudge!
I got an appetite for wrestling. Where is the bitch in handcuffs? Oh Lord! Seems like everybody is very constipated in their emotional blockade.
Are you ready to meet my little baby? That's all, don't say no, sweetie. You're going to babysit the bitch in a few weeks. Her name is Lucy Leprosy. Cause she keeps falling to pieces. Oh Lord.
You can't rush greatness. Lucy, it's time that you found out, little girl. Oh, this is my little girl. My name is the lovely Smudge Baby, and I'm from beautiful Providence, Rhode Island. Oh Lord, but you understand, you're here right in time, just in time for the lovely Smudge baby to tell his little daughter, the lovely Lucy Leprosy. You see, she was born without a leg, oh Lord, and without an arm. You see, they say that if you look deep inside a Smudge baby, they can find those missing parts. But you see, little Lucy Leprosy, I got some good news, you see, because we're soon going to see your daddy. Your daddy's a TV star. Your daddy's a big famous celebrity. Oh Lord, your daddy's in Chicago, Lucy Leprosy. That's right, oh Lord, it's the ringmaster himself. Jerry Springer's your daddy, little girl. Oh, my little girl needs a hug. My little girl's never met a big daddy, Jerry Springer, before, but she's gonna meet him. Now I'm gonna tell you, Jerry Springer, you better start paying the alimony. You better start paying the child support for little Lucy Leprosy, because baby, even though she's half a little girl, she's still got a full appetite. But I'll tell you what I got an appetite for. I got an appetite for wrestling. Woo! I want to come to sweet home Chicago, home of Michael Jordan, his beautiful slam dunk, and home of Dennis Rodman and his fine funk, and home of Jake and the Blues Brothers. Oh, that's right, the Blues Brothers, and home of the world famous Chicago Bulls and little Mikey Ditka. Oh Lord, and all those famous football players. Dick Butt Kiss. I love to kiss that butt. But I'm looking forward to Chicago, and I want to say this. I'm going to take on any of those little scallywaggy hankies in the audience, any of those little girls in Chicago that want to mess with the intergender wrestling champion of the universe, following the traditions of the wonderful Andy Kaufman. I'm gonna wrestle any of those little girls in Chicago in a little pool, a little plastic pool full of sweet honey from the bee and sliced bananas from the tree. That's what I'm gonna do. And after I beat those bikini clad little girls from Chicago, I'm gonna take on Big Studley Steve. That's who I'm gonna take on. And I'm gonna take on your little daddy, girl. I'm gonna take on the Big JS himself. Now I'm gonna show you people that Smudge Baby means business. You're gonna see a little videotape highlight film of Smudge Baby's careers in wrestling. And entertaining the people of Rhode Island, because now it's time to come home to sweet home Chicago and Jerry Springer, because baby, when you were out to sea, you left your little men with me. You understand what the Smudge Baby's saying? In Chicago, I'm looking forward to bringing the Smudge Baby and Lucy Leprosy home. All right, I'm out. Lord, you know that's the truth.
Movies fail. It's a fact. Other than the reasons Matt mentioned, sleep, alcohol, and watching other people's movies, here are a few of the more common reasons people fail to make their low or even micro-budget movie. Number 1. Put it off until tomorrow. More commonly known as wait until everything is ready, like money. Also, there's that great party, you'll miss out on it if you shoot your movie. Maybe your movie can wait another day. I mean, what's a day, right? Wrong. Number 2, trust that your friends really want to help you just because they say they do. In trusting them, you're failing to realize that this is what you want to do, not necessarily what they want to do. And when it comes time for them to be there for you, they may have other responsibilities. Number 3, let your boyfriend/girlfriend around during production. Sure, she can help out, right? Another person on the crew can always be a benefit. What's this? You're spending time with other people? Hey, I need some attention. I saw you looking at that actress. Number 4, not having backup actors and locations available. Did you make sure the location you had in mind was available for the hours you wanted to use it? Did you get the permission, or are you just gonna wait until someone comes up and asks what the hell you're doing before you ask? What about that girl who can't wait to be in your movie, that suddenly has to go away for college? Do you have a replacement for her? What about backup equipment for when someone decides to spill soda into your camera or tape over your footage with them talking to themselves? Right, that would never happen, so probably you don't need to pay attention to that rule. Number 5. Getting pissed because everyone is preventing you from doing the simplest things. They nag, they question your choices, have to go to the bathroom at the worst possible times. They'll push you and hold up production and then wonder what the hell your problem is just before they walk off the set. After all, you're not paying them, and they only need the slightest excuse to leave, and so that way they'll still have a clear conscience. Number 6. Let the slowing momentum and obstacles overtake you. You gave it your best shot, right? Which basically leads to the next rule. Number 7. Give in to the excuses. What kind of excuses? Oh, money, resources, any of the above rules that I mentioned already. Start giving yourself a way out and you'll let yourself quit. This way your movie will never get made. That's what happens.
That was Rejected by Reality, The Strange Case of Mike Messier and Smudge Baby, right here on the Short Film Showcase. I'd like to thank you, the audience, for supporting Short Film Showcase, episode number 14, and all of our previous episodes. Without you, the audience, we wouldn't have a show. If you are a short filmmaker and like to have your short film right here on the Short Film Showcase, please go to bcfilms.net. That's bcfilms.net, and contact our producer, Bryan Casey, to have your short film on the Short Film Showcase. And if you're out there thinking, hey, I'd like to make a film, remember, if you can dream it, shoot it. I'm Mike Messier.